Imagine waking up one day. It's a cold day and you really don't want to get out of bed. But you do anyway because life calls and you need to do something with the day. You get up, turn on your kettle, have some breakfast, and go down to the grocery store to get some dinner for the next few nights. You're about to get home when you notice people on the street are starting to act a bit strange. Other drivers are more aggressive, but it's not really worrying you too much at this point. Some people are just a bit reckless. You go home, turn on the TV, and it's being broadcasted on every channel. Your country has been invaded. This scenario is something most of us will never experience, thankfully. But if it did, what would you do? Would you survive? How far would you go to ensure your survival? Playing this war of mine recently, I've been thinking over the last few days what would happen to me, and would I survive? It's funny, a bit over 2 years ago I would have outright said yes, I'd survive easily, so long as I just wasn't unlucky and, got shot or killed. But a lot has happened since then. As some of you know, I've recently been diagnosed with Crohn's disease. Basically, it's my stomach fighting with itself. If war broke out where I lived, I'd need to scavenge, steal, kill for food, Supplies and medicine won't be easy to come by. I'm not too sure I would be able to survive. To make things easier, I'm just going to assume that the invaders are not interested in killing civilians. I mean, it does happen here and there, but, they're not outright to get you. The first thing you'd think most people would be doing at a time like this is gathering as much food, supplies, medicine, water as they can. Once it's gone at the shops, it's actually gone. You're going to have to try and find all this other stuff elsewhere. Some people who are thinking they're smart are going to be like, yeah, let's plant some seeds, let's set up all these things. But these take time and effort, especially if you're trying to grow vegetables. And, they might not grow at all. So people are going to be getting really, really restless really fast. And unless you're living out in the country, it's pretty much going to be a dog-eat-dog world. Where I live, it's not really cold either, so I'm very lucky that I don't need to worry about my temperature. But I will need to worry about supplies like fuel for fire for cooking and, all the basic necessities that at least as much as I can find anyway. Would most of us have weapons to defend ourselves? Well, not really in Australia. We might have some bats, but unless you're out in the country, you won't really have a weapon. A gun, I should say. And protective equipment? Yeah, not really likely. Maybe some shin guards for playing soccer and football. But otherwise, there's not too much that we really have to protect ourselves if you really think about it. Of course, over time, people are going to be gathering things and having worse weapons, I would assume. But carrying around too much equipment would make you awfully tired quickly, so you really have to decide whether if you want to have no protection at all and, you get shot or hit and you're kind of doomed, or you got a bit and you just can't run as fast, which makes you an easy target for someone to rob you. The real problem comes, though, when I think about medicine. For me, and probably a lot of other people too, you don't really think about it when you're not on medicine, but if you look around, there's a large amount of the population on medicine, or in time will need some at some point. Without medicine, I know I'd die a very slow and painful death. First, I'd start having pains in my stomach, which would get more severe over the following months. It'd get to a point where I'm unable to eat, and if I was able to, I probably couldn't keep it down, because I'd just throw it back up. I'd be almost bedridden and have no energy at all. And, well, when I have no energy, how am I going to get food and water and, stop people stealing my stuff? How would I protect any of my belongings or people? I say people like I've got them there, but, I might be by myself. This might sound really far-fetched, but just over 2 months ago, this is how I actually was. And when I was finally diagnosed and put on medication, it made me a lot better. And, I'm making videos now again, which is fantastic. Only 2 months ago there wasn't a war and there's not people trying to steal from me. Well, I hope there wasn't anyway. So, would I survive? Probably not. Would you survive? That's what I want to ask. Let me know in the comments. You have a good think about this. And if your country was invaded, or, something happened like martial law came into effect and recently in Egypt, they're not really rebels, but just say it's escalated further and they became rebels. You know, how would you survive then? Really, do let me know in the comments because I want to know. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.